Hey food nerds, I'm Julian Fader, the Gastro Nerd, and it is blueberry season, so I'm making blueberry muffins. Yes, it's my favorite time of year, the summer berry time. Blueberries are my favorite, and who doesn't love blueberry muffins? And I have a secret for you, which is going to intensify your muffin, so you get that blueberry all throughout. To begin, for our muffins, we're going to start with 3 cups all-purpose flour. It's always great to mix your dry ingredients first. That way they're nice and even. A big whopping tablespoon of baking powder. And what this is gonna do is gonna make them super fluffy. A half of a teaspoon of baking soda. Now baking soda and baking powder act differently. One acts on impact, rises on impact, and the other one will help rise again in the oven. And then of course, a little salt, seasoning, about a half a teaspoon, and mix. Whiskey. Et voila. Now it's time for the second layer of fluff and lightness. We're going to really fluff our butter. I have, love that jiggle. I have 10 tablespoons. Okay, I have 12 tablespoons. It's fine, you're gonna love it, it's delicious, butter's great, get over it. By the way, if you saw how smooth and gentle that butter is, that's because it's nice and room temperature. I've been letting it sit out for an hour. So if you know you're gonna make these, pop some butter out of the fridge before. So I'm going to, in my stand mixer, you can do this by hand or with a hand mixer, I'm gonna add 3/4 of a cup of granulated sugar. And I'm going to reserve a little sugar later to sprinkle on top. It's so important to fluff or cream your butter and sugar together. Now, what happens is the sugar is going to go into the butter and it's gonna make it nice and creamy and white, and it's gonna smooth it out, and what it's gonna do, it's gonna create air pockets. So that when this goes into your, whether it's a muffin or a cake, cupcake, you name it, and when it bakes, those air pockets are gonna help rise up and be super fluffy and light. So I'm gonna crack 2 eggs and add them to my batter. That's why it's always great to crack your eggs into a separate bowl and then add. It's a lot easier to fish out an egg shell on one of these than in there. So slowing down my pace. Going to add a teaspoon of vanilla. So I love vanilla and everything. So whenever mixing, you want to make sure everything is mixed evenly. So I'm going to push down all my butter in the sides to make sure everything is incorporated throughout. Here is my secret weapon. Yogurt's a great addition. It makes it light and creamy and fluffy and moist. But instead of just putting plain yogurt, I use blueberry yogurt. So you can see it has very intense blueberry flavor. So instead of just having to wait for my bite of blueberry, I get to have blueberry throughout the entire muffin. And this also works if you want to do a strawberry, raspberry, any flavored muffin with fruit. Great tip. So I'm gonna do half and half. Half my dry ingredients, meaning my flours, slowly incorporating. Now this is very important. You don't want to overwork your batter, especially any type of cake. When you overwork something with flour, and flour has gluten in it. Gluten's great for, say, bread, pizza, but for cakes, it makes it super chewy and dense. So the least amount of work possible. A little yogurt. My last ingredient, can't forget the blueberries and blueberry muffins. These are fresh from my CSA, my community supported farm, Freebird Farms, and they are perfectly sweet, a little tart. So I'm going to add one of my favorite ingredients, cinnamon, just to give it a little warmth. And then a little bit of lemon zest, so it's a little extra zesty and refreshing. So for my last step, I'm going to fold my blueberries in. So I have about a cup of blueberries. I said they're fresh. If you don't have fresh, you can use frozen. It's totally fine. You can make them all year round. So just gently, because like I said, you don't want to overwork the batter, so just incorporate them. Okay, so I'm making muffins. So I have my muffin tin. Meanwhile, my oven is preheated to 375. That's the first thing I did. In go my dainty little muffin tins. I feel like Martha. And now, using my ice cream scooper, of course you can just use a regular spoon, This kind of is more or less, one scoop is about the size of a muffin. And I want these to pop out a bit. So I'm gonna go on the bigger side of the muffin. So my muffins are in the tin. I'm gonna give them a quick little sprinkle of sugar. So it'll give it a little crunch and also that little extra hint of sweet at the top, and it looks real pretty. Into the oven, and this is at 375 once again, and they'll be in there for about 25 to 30 minutes, and midway I'm just gonna rotate them. My muffins are out of the oven, so it's been 25 minutes. A great way to test if any sort of baked good is done that's doughy is to use a good old cake tester. Or you can use a toothpick, or you can use a knife. Knives tend to make more of a damage into the object, so cake tester's great. They cost about 50 cents. So try to go right in the middle. If it comes out clean, which this totally does, you're all good to go. So I'm gonna let these cool, and then we're going to dig into them. Hot muffins ready to eat. These are my blueberry muffins. They're actually not that hot anymore. They're perfect temperature for me to engorge myself with them. Let's see. They're so moist. You really get that blueberry flavor throughout. So yes, they're indeed very moist because of that yogurt. That butter didn't make it worse, I'll tell you that much. And I get that lovely blueberry flavor, so I really feel like I'm eating a blueberry muffin and not a muffin that has a few blueberries in it. You know what I'm saying? This is lovely for brunch or for snack or for your future PTA meetings. Just kidding, I'm not even close to that. Thanks for watching The Gastro Nerd. I'm Julianne Fader. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking this button, and stay tuned for so much more delicious nerdiness to come.